As we know, Budapest 2025 is right around the corner. The plays, the players, the storyline. Yeah. No one gives a shit. What are the stickers gonna look like? But with Valve's recent developments, the Genesis terminal, the trade up update, is it that crazy to think that we get a Budapest terminal instead? It's a long story, that's for damn sure. But let's examine the conflict that's going on right now between Valve and China, and how we could look at this one clairvoyant motherfucker who seems to know everything that's going on. Now, to understand what Valve's going up against, this is not 5 pros who just threw a game for a couple of AWP Asimovs. Valve is facing the country of China. Now, why would this be tougher than, say, the US? Well, for one, the Chinese don't have many assets in which they can purchase. A lot of the stocks me or you could buy on Robinhood right now simply aren't available to them, so they have to look for other avenues to profit. And luckily for them, digital assets in China are treated more like real assets than they are in other parts of the world. It's taken very seriously. They have a very large esports scene. Cheat developers are arrested. Scammers are arrested. It's a very different culture than we have here in the US. Combine that with a 1 billion plus population, most of which being male because of the one-child policy, and we have a fucking legion of dorks that aim to profit off me, you, and Valve. It started in the early months of the summer. Prices usually go down during this time, but this time they went completely ballistic. But only in a weird, certain class of items. First it was the M4A4, then the AK, the Deagle, the USP, and it seemingly hit its apex with their magnum opus, the Evil Geniuses Holo. A holographic sticker of a shitty team in which they pumped from $1 to $400 in like a month and a half. But they were strategic, they weren't rug pulls. They were like rug tugs. They built up this price movement for a long time so that buyers weren't worried about getting dumped on in those 7 days between purchase and tradable. And as soon as they started to buy in, the Chinese had their exit liquidity and they promptly got the fuck out of there, making millions in the process. This is weaponized video game autism. But what could Valve realistically do about this? There wasn't one person spearheading the operation. There were thousands. There was no scapegoat like the iBuyPower situation. No names, no faces. The casual skin buyer was priced out. Cases were pumped to the point where they were too expensive to open. And the part that probably angered Valve the most, they weren't getting a piece of the action. The trade-up update happens in late October. And on the surface, it would seem apparent that the Chinese had to have known something. Right, look at these guns that they were pumping. They were all reds that traded up to knives eventually. Maybe they just knew everything. The timing was just too good. But the reality was, this wasn't Valve tipping China off. It was Valve's response. It was the last and maybe the most devastating response by Valve to end Chinese manipulation. Looking at it deeper, these Chinese motherfuckers had no idea about this update. The guns they pumped, random. Looking at their Chinese TikTok equivalent, their Discord and their Telegram chats, it was clear as day it was just chaos. They pumped pinks, they pumped purples, they pumped light blues, stickers that had Chinese symbolism. If this was insider trading by the Chinese, then they put together a masterclass in diversion. Because they spent more money on random bullshit than the items they should have bought. The sawed-off Kraken, that shit was $5. Now it's $130. No price movement there. But there was a significant price movement on the sticker that resembled the Chinese lucky golden egg. But speculation of insider trading didn't stop there, because we have Mr. Tomik, a new figure in the CS community, as he self-reportedly made over $1 million in basically under 12 hours. By purchasing a bunch of coverts before the trade-up update happened. Now, for context, you trade up blues to purples to pinks to reds, but you stop there before the update. So there was a lot of reds, and not much you could do with them. And if the skin looked like shit, the price resembled more of a blue, $2, $3 in some cases. So it was preposterous that he bought so many of these coverts with such great timing. It would be easy to label him as an insider and just move on. But would an insider have a public inventory? Would an insider brag online about his winnings? Would an insider not tell all of the giant personalities on his friends list about the update so that they can get some skin in the game? Valve's workers and developers, they're not broke. These people are smart. Online sources purport that they make some of the most in the industry. They sign legally binding NDAs. Now, I could see them tipping off their friend so that they can make some pocket change for the weekend. If they were insider trading on a grand scale, would they be doing it with a person who flaunts their winnings on Steam? What's more likely is that Tomik is just you and me. Some dude who did his own due diligence and made his own informed play off of his own inferences. He saw the chaos from China, the manipulation, the average player getting burnt, and he probably thought, hey, Valve can't stay silent forever. So he made a bet, like every CS player ever, in any situation. But now he's making another one. And despite him proving that he's up to something, he's still raising some eyebrows with this play. He is all in right now publicly on the Austin 2025 capsule. Not a specific one, just broad stroke capsule. Now a reasonable take would be that he's using his newfound influence to pump a new set of items and just make some profit off of that. But maybe, just maybe, he's onto something and we haven't given him his flowers yet. Not sponsored. But I am sponsored by Skinsmonkey. Has the positives of both the marketplace and a trading forum. Get new skins instantly, 24/7 around-the-clock service, and an inventory selection so vast it would make one of these skin traders go get an actual job. Click my link or go to the website and enter my code Mike, and you'll be getting a $5 free to use on the website on me. But that bonus scales up. I would just go for a $100 trade. That doubles your bonus to $10 free on your first trade. Better cash back than American Express. Now you can also buy skins if you don't have any in your inventory to trade. With my code, you get a 35% deposit bonus. Now they're humble. They like to call themselves a competitive rate. But how can you be competitive when you're the best? Now go and get that steez up. What if Austin 2025 capsules are the last capsules we ever see? We've only talked about the negatives on this channel, but terminals do a very good job of stopping price manipulation. Chinese players buy gun A, price pumps to artificially high levels, and all Valve has to do is make the terminal offers for that skin at their original pre-pumped rate. Players buy, the first ones who get it at that great price go ahead and sell it on the market. That keeps happening, supply rolls in, and the incoming supply eventually dilutes the existing supply, and price finds its way back down at equilibrium. Valve can create the ceiling with the terminal. Chinese manipulation, Valve intervention, market correction. It's a pattern and it seems to be working for Valve. Chinese players haven't pumped that new AK in the terminal because A, it's fucking ugly, and B, because Valve just can print AKs. They're like the fucking Fed now. They haven't banned anyone, they haven't made anyone an example, yet they've made manipulation an unprofitable endeavor. And stickers aren't immune to this price manipulation, right? As we saw with the EG Holo. So maybe Tomik thinks, as well as myself, that the Austin capsules will be the last capsules we see ever put into Counter-Strike. He's betting on his conviction, and he's betting on the same pattern he saw when he bought all of those reds. Valve still profits, but the common man stands to gain as well. Because sometimes the villain's master plan saves a lot of people in the process. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you guys think. Are Austin capsules a good buy? Feel free to ask some questions in the comment section, in our Discord, or on Twitch, where I'll be live streaming tonight at around 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll do a giveaway for 20 Austin capsules at 8:30. Thank you guys, and I'll see y'all tomorrow for another Mike Water Classic. Code Mike.